In the summer of 2014, people in Flint started dying in what would become one of the worst outbreaks of Legionnaires' disease in U.S. history.
We were suspecting the city of Flint water supply.
After the city began drawing from the highly corrosive Flint River, brown water started flowing from taps.
That was the big red flag.
Eventually, toxic lead would be discovered. But that summer, the county health director hadn't found the source of the Legionnaires' disease, which by that point was already killing people. So he got in touch with the CDC.
When you reached out, what did you expect to happen?
We expected that we'd have a team of people that would help us identify the source of this bacteria, the source of this illness, to stop it.
But that didn't happen. The Centers for Disease Control, the federal agency tasked with investigating outbreaks, didn't show up. And the county health director, Jim Henry, says Michigan state officials purposely kept them away.
Our whole team was angry. It was, you could see that it was an intentional, deliberate method to prevent us from doing our job.
According to CDC protocol, a state must invite the CDC to investigate an outbreak, and Michigan did not do that.
The state stopped our investigation by prohibiting us to communicate. They prohibited communication between the Center for Disease Control and Genesee County Health Department. They prevented that team to come here and help us find the source.
Legionella thrives in warm weather, and Henry says he was racing against the clock, trying to prevent another outbreak from happening the following summer, still hoping the CDC would come and pinpoint the cause.
It was infuriating.
Michigan state officials did provide assistance, but never found the cause of the outbreak. The state would not agree to an interview, saying only this: "We were able to meet the epidemiological case investigation need in the county. CDC was a part of these conversations as they were involved in many aspects of the investigations." But the CDC tells CNN that it felt a comprehensive investigation was warranted and offered to further assist Michigan. In this case, Michigan felt that they had the skills and resources needed to perform the investigation themselves. As the weather warmed in 2015, just as Henry had feared, there was a second wave of cases. But to Henry's astonishment, the state had already declared the Legionnaires' outbreak over.
When you read that, what did you think?
There must be a mistake. We had 2 new cases in June. We had multiple cases, and to determine the outbreak over must have been some sort of mistake.
That's what you thought at the time?
That's what I thought at the time.
What do you think now?
It was intentional. To stop the investigation that would implicate the Flint water system in this outbreak.
By summer's end, 4 more people would die, including 58-year-old Deborah Kidd. Her son Troy says she got sick after visiting the ER for a migraine. She didn't know there were high levels of Legionella in the hospital water supply. His family is now suing the hospital and the state.
I think it's a cover-up. I think it stinks. I think they knew there was something more going on than what they wanted to really let on.
Sarah, every time I learn more about this story, it's just alarming. I understand, though, the CDC did finally make it to Flint.
Yes, Jim, they were finally invited by the state. They were there last week, but experts tell us it's likely too late to make any kind of scientific link. So to this day, they still do not know the exact cause of this outbreak, and they may never know, Jim.